Once again, good morning class. I am teacher Joker from Wachukacher School. I am teaching English under the English program and currently I am handling grade 5/1. So for today, our subject will be science, wherein our topic is about animals and plants adaptation. So are you ready? Okay, so we're now going to start our new lesson in science. So since this is our first lesson in science, I have here the vocabularies that we need to read and understand first before we're going to proceed to our lesson. So we have 10 vocabularies here. First is we have water hyacinth. Water hyacinth. Okay, so please follow after me. Number 1, water hyacinth. Later on, I will be showing you some of the pictures of these vocabularies. So no worries for that. Okay, number 2, petals. Petals. Number 3, cactus. Cactus. Number 4, camel. Camel. Number 5, adaptation. Adaptation. Number 6, desert. Desert. Number 7, pond. Pond. Number 8, lake. Lake. Number 9, land. Land. And number 10, breathe. Breathe. Okay, so those are the 10 vocabularies that we need to learn before starting our new lesson in science. So as what I've said a while ago, this is water hyacinth. Okay, so water hyacinth is a kind of flower that lives on water. Okay, that's why it is called water hyacinth. So this is what we call water hyacinth. Another vocabulary is that we have here petals. So when we say petals, it is a part of a plant wherein it is the center between the leaves and the trunks is there. So this is what we call petals, or this one. Okay, so this is what we call petals. Next is cactus. Cactus. So this is what we call cactus. Camel. Camel. So this is what we call camel. And where does camel live? They live in the desert. And desert, this is what we call desert. Pond. Pond. Lake. Lake. So if you're going to compare pond and a lake, pond is smaller than a lake. Lake is much larger or bigger than a pond. Okay? So again, pond is smaller while lake is bigger. So you can compare in the picture in this slide. So we have lake and then pond. Now let's have land. Land. Okay, so this is what we call a land. Breathe. Breathe. Breathe meaning you are going to inhale, and then like that, and then exhale. You're going to take the air in and take the air out. Okay, that is what they call breathe. Breathe in and then breathe out. Okay, next in here is we have adaptation. So what is adaptation, or what does it mean by the word adaptation? Adaptations are special features that allow a plant or animal or even other living things to live in a particular place or habitat. So again, adaptations allows plant or animal to live in a particular place or habitat. Okay, so that is the meaning of adaptation. Meaning, a living things can live in a particular place because they were able to adapt the environment or their own habitat. Okay, so that's all about adaptation. Okay, let's proceed now to our next vocabulary. And now let's have our first lesson in science, which is about animals and plants adaptation. And again, when we say adaptation, it talks about the special features of animals or plants or any other living things to adapt their environment. So it's not only animals, but it's also plants, because all living things can adapt their own place or habitat, or what we call their environment. Okay, so later on we're going to have some examples of the animals and plants that can adapt their environment. Okay, so are you ready? So we have here the examples of plants and animals. First is we have water hyacinth. So how does a water hyacinth adapt its environment? First, it floats on the surface of ponds and lakes. Again, it floats on the surface of ponds and lakes. Therefore, a water hyacinth lives on water. Next, it has a petioles that hollow and filled with air to keep the flowers and leaves above the water to prevent them from rotting or being destroyed. So this is what we call petioles. Okay, this one, the one that I marked as red, is what we call petioles. Number two is we have here cactus. So where does a cactus live? A cactus lives in the desert. So this is the example of desert. Okay, it's a barren land where no water at all or trees at all, only cactus and other plants. Only few plants can live in a desert, and one of those is cactus. So cactus lives in desert. Okay, so this is one feature of a cactus. It has leaves that are reduced to spines to limit water loss. Okay, spines. When we say spines, S-P-I-N-E-S, is this ones. Those are spines. Okay, those are what we call spines. And what is the use of these spines? It is used to limit water loss. Okay, so that is the use of spines. Again, a cactus has a leaves that are reduced to spines to limit water loss. So again, this is what we call spines. And what is the use of spines? It limits water loss. Okay? Another is a cactus has long roots. Okay, can you see this one? It has a very long roots that grow deep into the soil to absorb water from the underground. Okay, if you remember your lesson before, which is about living things, we talked about the plant as a living thing, right? Wherein roots is used to absorb what? What is the function of a roots? It absorbs water from the soil or from the underground. Okay, so this is the function of a roots. Understand? So again, roots is used to absorb water from the underground. Another feature of a cactus is it stores water in its fleshy stems. Okay, so for example, this is the stem of a cactus. The stem of cactus is used for storage. It stores water. That's why cactus can live in a desert without water because they can store water in the stem. Okay, they can store water in the stem. Okay, next. Okay, next one. So we have here camel. Okay, camel is an animal. So how does a camel adapt its environment? Okay, camel lives in desert. So how does a camel live in a desert or adapt its environment? First, they have large and flat feet. They have large and flat feet to walk on the sand easily. Okay, look at their feet. It's flat, right? They got large and flat feet. So this is one of their features. That's why they could stay in desert for a long period of time. Okay, next feature of a camel is they got long legs. Long legs. And why is it that they got a long legs? To keep its body away from hot sand. Okay, so a camel got a long legs to keep its body away from hot sun. Another is a camel got long eyelashes. So they got long eyelashes. Why? Why do you think a camel got long eyelashes? In order for them to keep sun out of its eyes. Because for without their eyelashes, their eyes could be hurt from sun. Okay, or the sun can get into their eyes. That's why they got long eyelashes to keep sun out of its eyes. So that's the reason why they got long eyelashes. Another is a camel got a hump at their back. So when we say hump, H-U-M-P, this one. This is what we call humps. Humps on their back. The curved one at their back. So what is the use of this hump at their back? It is used to store fat. Stores fat as food in its hump to survive for a long period of time. So camel can live in the desert for a long period of time without eating and drinking water because they got a hump at their back wherein they stores their food in there. So this is full of fats, and these fats it serves as their food. Okay, so again, a camel got a humps at their back wherein this hump is used to store food. Okay, it is a storage of food. That's why they can survive or they can live in a desert for a long period of time without eating or drinking. So camel is one of the animals that can live on desert. Another here is frog. Okay, so where does a frog lives? It lives on land and water. Okay, so some frog they can live on land and water. They are called amphibians, wherein they can live in both land and water. Okay? So, frog breathe through lungs when it is on the land. As what I've said a while ago, a frog can live on land. And they're going to breathe through their lungs. But if they are going to live in the, or if they are going to swim in the water or stay in the water, they're going to breathe with their moist skin. Okay, so this is the difference. If they're going to live on land, they're going to breathe through lungs. But if they're going to live in the water, they are going to breathe with their moist skin. Okay? Again, I repeat. If the frog lives on land, they are going to breathe through their lungs. But if they're going to live in the water, they're going to breathe with their moist skin. Okay, so that's how a frog lives in land and water. Okay, another feature of a frog is they have webbed foot. Again, webbed foot. So we call it webbed because of its feature. Okay, look at their feet. It is being webbed. That's why it is called webbed foot. And what is the use of their foot? To help in swimming. So this is the reason why a frog got a webbed foot, because it helps them to swim. Okay? Now let's summarize our lesson for today, which is about plants and animal adaptation. So when we say adaptation, it is a special features that allows a plant or animal or any other living things to live in a particular place or habitat, like the examples that we mentioned a while ago. So we have here the examples of animals and plants adaptation. I discussed it already. We have here water hyacinth, wherein it lives in water. Cactus that lives in desert. Camel that lives in a desert at the same time. And then a frog that lives in both water and land. And for your activity today, I would like you to write about the animals and plants adaptation on your notebook. So please write the following on your notebook. And then next meeting, I will be giving you some activity about it. Okay? So for now, you're going to write the adaptation of plants and animals on your notebook. Understand? So you got only one activity in science for today, wherein you're just going to write the animals and plants adaptation on your notebook. So that's all for today. So thank you for listening, and please do your activity. And of course, do not forget to take a photo and send in our line again. Okay? So next meeting, I will be giving some activity regarding your activity today. So do not forget to do it. Okay? If you have any more question, please don't hesitate to message me in line again or make a call. So that's all for today, and goodbye.